I started to take photos in '73 with normal film. They don't teach this in school. I was teaching humanities, which means philosophy, literature, history, at Cooper Union. Okay, my background is literature and philosophy. So I was teaching at Cooper Union, which is in the East Village. And I was hanging around a lot of artists. This is in the '70s. And I had the money to buy a camera. I actually lived in the East Village in the '60s, okay? So that's the source material for the kind of photographs, these kind of hallucinatory images, came from living in the '60s in the village taking psychedelics. So instead of going to photography school, I took LSD. That was my photography school. So they don't teach this in photography school. I also lived in Pierpont Street, which is just over in Brooklyn Heights. And I would go walking from Brooklyn Heights into the city and Chinatown, and I spent a lot of time, so I took these pictures from the Brooklyn Bridge of Lower Manhattan. And as far as celebration, I went to the South Street Seaport. They had a great fireworks show, beautiful fireworks show. You could get very close in the barges because the people were able to get very close to the water, unlike the Macy's parade where you're back and you just see it, but you're right under the bridge, so you see the bridge lit up from underneath and the water light up the bridge from underneath. And then the sky, so that was a great fireworks show. Can't believe it's 30 years ago. Well, my main photograph that shows the infrared, this is a single shot of Lower Manhattan from the Brooklyn Bridge using two-tone filters. There are filters where there are two colors, and using repeating filters. And I could set up the shot so that one half would be full of bursting sunlight and the other half would be yellow. And I made, by accident really, the yellow face almost looked like two black sunglasses, two black eyes, a kind of sad yellow face looking down or looking back, and this exploding face of a kind of monkey, if you can get the right angle, where there's a tooth on the top and an open jaw and the shape of an ape looking into the future with terror, seeing the sun representing the terrorism. And it also, so it's a picture, a real photograph, not photoshopped, of Lower Manhattan, of reality, using these ideas to create a metaphor, but it's also a picture of my consciousness, of my head, what I was thinking when I took the photograph. So it's a portrait of me and the city and mythology all at one time. So that's infrared. And just to show you that these two images are excerpts from the photograph you just saw. They look like Hollywood in the 30s. They're actual real photographs of Manhattan taken with infrared. That's why I love infrared. And then this is a photograph of the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, because I use so many filters, it vignettes it, which means that the light comes in only as a circle in the shape of the filters, and the surrounding area is black. So I have a detail of that, which is in the book, which is here, and because of the number of filters, the image looks like it's flat and they're going upward, not outward. So that's a structure which flattens the image of the bridge. This is another one using the different filters of the bridge. Looks more abstract, more poetic. And then I have, now these are real infrared photographs. Now, if you put an infrared filter, that means only infrared radiation comes in, so you're going to get red and black. These are true infrared, only, so it's a black filter, it's a very dark infrared filter, which means I can't even see through it. It's so dark that it blocks out all the light. So I have to set it up, screw the filter on, and guess what I'm shooting at, because I cannot see through the filter. These are true infrared film. These are heat pictures, not thermography, but infrared radiation, and that's a detail of the bridge. And this is another one from the Brooklyn Bridge into Manhattan, different filter, simpler than the other one, but the same idea. So I want to make it look like night, but it's in the middle of the day. So I want it dark and light and near and far. And as far as I can tell, that's pretty much the shots of the Brooklyn Bridge and Lower Manhattan. The ones that are Brooklyn Bridge are color infrared film, which means that I look through the viewfinder and I can't see the infrared rays coming in because it's invisible. I can feel it on my hand, but I can't see it. That's what makes it magical. So when I photograph the bridge, it's a bit of a guess, and I use a lot of filters to make it more alive and more magical. My whole point is to make the city more magical, because that's just how I see it, or how I want to see it. So the 130th anniversary, it sounds a unique opportunity for Francesco to play a game in the city with some humor, which doesn't usually get humor and celebration at the same time. But I think it's maybe, I don't want to say European kind of performance thing, but most American things are much more austere and conceptual, and I think in European there's more of a play. I don't know, I'm just talking. He was describing the framing, which Magritte or something like that, a kind of surrealist object suspended, and behind that is the bridge or the building, so you get a double perspective. It sounds like a Magritte comic book in a way. So that sounds like fun, and if the weather holds out and it's good, people will be able to see whatever they want to see and take a lot of pictures and give a new perspective. So it's a kind of pop, conceptual, surrealist performance. That's what it is. Okay? So it should be fun. Should be fun. We're going now?